Hi everyone, welcome back to my little bookish corner in BookTube land. I hope you're doing well, and today I am super excited to share my top reads of the year so far in this mid-year check-in, and also the ones that fell a little bit flat for me. Before we dive in, thank you all for subscribing. If you're new here, welcome. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to never miss an update. Now, I'm thrilled to also share with you that I will be announcing this month my first book giveaway on the channel. I haven't researched how to do it yet. So if you have a channel, let me know top tips. And if you are interested in taking part, let me know your favorite genre so that I can get an idea of how to do the giveaway. Yeah, for those of you who've participated in giveaways, not necessarily that you have a channel, let me know which booksellers that you've noticed people generally use. All tips from anyone gratefully received here. Now, let's get ready to dive into the books. Have you got your drink and snack ready? I have. I've got coffee with a dash of milk and no sugar, ready to share the literary highs and lows of 2024 so far. So grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and here we go. So, top reads. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm laughing because you're like, that's everyone knows that book, Katja. But I didn't until the start of this year. So I thought it was all hype, but I was wrong, and I'm glad that I was wrong because this book truly shines. The author turns everyday conversations into something significant. We follow Evelyn Hugo's journey through Hollywood's glitz and hidden shadows, revealing the true cost of fame and love. And the story jumps between past and present, unveiling Evelyn's life one husband at a time. And I love that. With our narrator Monique bringing us right into the heart of it all. I was blown away by how engaging and moving this book was. So the hype was well deserved, and I regret having put it off until this year to read it. Then we have Crossings. How Road Ecology is Shaping the Future of Our Planet by Ben Goldfarb. As you can tell from the title, it's nonfiction. And I didn't think I would have a book about roadkill being at the top of my reads mid year this year if you'd asked me in January. But here we are. Goldfarb's writing is informative and engaging, shedding light on crucial environmental issues like, yes, roadkill, but also all the linked issues such as disruption of migration and breeding patterns. Now, the book delves into the challenges and innovative solutions in road ecology, highlighting efforts to mitigate the adverse effects of roads on nature. It is such a compelling read, and it really underscores the importance of sustainable infrastructure. It will be a must read for anyone who's interested in environmental conservation. Now, a memoir of my former self, A Life in Writing by Hilary Mantel, nonfiction. I have a feeling this might be a bit dense for some people, but I'll start from the beginning and why this was such a special book for me. The acclaimed author's final book gathers together all of her writings over 4 decades. The collection of essays showcases her unparalleled talent for observation and storytelling. Now, the subjects are wide ranging, and many essays are so profound they leave you wanting to mull them over for days. I certainly felt that way when she shared her personal experience of infertility and struggling with chronic pain and the challenges of daily living and working when you suffer from endometriosis, which I do. So her experience really resonated for me. Some of her essays might feel a little outdated given the time that these writings span. 4 decades is a long time, and she talks about films that you might not have heard of. Yeah, there are some essays that will resonate more than others, but I think on the whole, the depth and richness of Mantel's insights will come alive for you if you give it time to actually read the essays and mull things over. I think this is not the sort of book you're going to want to pick up and read quickly. It's one you'll want to pick up and set down again. I always feel that way about collections of essays. The only other author I can think about right now is Zadie Smith, who does a lot of essays. And again, I have never sat down and read one of her books just all in one go. They have that nature to them that you're not going to be able to just, binge read them, for example. But anyway, I'm laboring that point. I think it's understated, and I hope that some of you will find as much to love in this book as I did. So then number 4, what you are looking for is In the Library by Michiko Ayoma. And I'm definitely going to pick up something else from this author if there is anything. I think the last time I looked, there wasn't. I read this fairly early on in the year. It's translated fiction from Japanese, and it's a captivating, cozy set of tales celebrating the power of books. Set in a Tokyo library, the enigmatic librarian Sayuri Komachi guides 5 individuals at life's crossroads towards self discovery and fulfillment. This heartwarming narrative highlights the magic of literature and the profound impact of libraries as sanctuaries of hope and renewal. Now, this book almost rivals my love for last year's Korean translated cozy fiction book, Welcome to the Hyunamdong Bookshop, which, if you know me and this channel, is saying something because I love that book. So, almost but not quite. That said, loved it, and it gives you the sort of before the coffee gets cold vibes. But I preferred this one. Right. Then I have a couple of translated fiction books it's reminding me that I am hopeful could be a contender for Welcome to the Hinamdong Bookshop. So keep an eye out for my updates on translated fiction. I'm currently reading an advanced reader copy that is proving to be really good. Anyway, I'm digressing. My last of the top 5 favorite books is James by Percival Everett. This novel reimagines Mark Twain's classic, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, from the perspective of Jim, the enslaved man. In a nutshell, it is brilliant. Everett enriches the original by spotlighting the untold stories and unseen moments of Jim, providing us as readers with a deeper understanding of his experiences. James explores identity, language, and survival, engaging us with its masterful handling of quite tricky themes like passing and the dual nature of language and the raw realities of historical oppression. It's not an easy read, but it is a powerful one. So, those are my top reads so far. Do any of them match yours? And what are your favorite books so far? Please share in the comments. I'd love to know. Next up, we have my least favorite reads, starting with one that you might recognize from my last video, Ethan Frome by Edith Wharton. A classic novel, and I don't have much positive to say about it other than I know that Edith Wharton has got exceptional writing. Her talent at capturing this bleak, desolate New England landscape with remarkable detail, putting that on the page, that was perfect. However, the actual story is profoundly depressing, filled with unfulfilled dreams and suffocating hardship. So, while I can admire the writing style, the relentless gloom of the actual narrative made it so unenjoyable for me that I rated it 2 stars. Let me know if this is actually a story that you hugely appreciate and think I should reconsider having on my list of least favorites. Then we have A Magical Girl Retires by Park Sol-yeon. Now, this novella offers a whimsical take on the magical girl trope, but it really falls short in execution, sadly. The characters lack depth, and themes like climate change and societal pressures, which form the central part of the plot, are actually really lightly touched upon, which makes no sense to me. The romance element is also billed as queer, sapphic, and yet, if you blink, you'll miss it. It is so subtle, it's almost non existent. So I think it's just too short a novella to make anything feel in depth. It's all very surface level. And I'd love to see what the author does next if given more leeway, or maybe they had the leeway. I don't know what the decisions were for making it so condensed, but it's really a short read, and I think it shouldn't have been, is my idea. Then we have Womb City by Tlotlo Tsamasi. Set in a dark future Botswana, this book blends folk tales and or folklore and speculative fiction. And it has so much potential, but I didn't like the main character, and the world building left me really confused. There were so many different elements that I couldn't track, and the only one that really stuck with me in the end is a really well known idea in science fiction, which includes the idea of body hopping, a concept you'll see on screen in shows like Dollhouse. So I found it bold and thought provoking, but ultimately too confusing to get into fully. So I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've read it. Yeah, because I haven't come across very many people who have. Three Men in a Boat by Jerome K. Jerome. This is another classic that I've ended up saying is not one of my favorites. It's supposed to be comedy, but it all really felt flat for me and quite forced. Which is a shame because I read about the author and I found the author's life far more interesting than the book. The book itself, the plot meanders. It's kind of like the boat trip it describes. It has a few moments, but it doesn't really have a plot. And it didn't tickle my funny bone the same way early 20th century humor often does. I think I'm more a P.G. Woodhouse, Jeeves, and Wooster kind of person. So going into the 1920s sort of comedy. Anyway, When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, fantasy novel. Now, this is a bit weird for me because I am still on the fence, but purely because I am on the fence, I think I should put it as a least favorite, which is hard. Um, I'm 14 hours into this 20-hour audiobook, and the constant decapitations, dismemberments, and relentless violence totally wore me down, so I stepped back. And I say this as someone who reads grim fantasy, so I'm not unused to the gritty worlds of authors like, say, John Gwynne. In fact, I like the world building in this book. It's vibrant and imaginative, and the narration is excellent. It's a really highly rated book, but the balance of character development, world building, and plot versus relentless gore feels so off. Now, for those of you who have read When the Moon Hatched, let me know in the comments if you think I should actually push on, and that might change my mind about having this as my least favorite. I've only got it on as a least favorite because it was just starting to feel harrowing, and I have DNF'd it. But that might change, so we'll see. That's it. Those are my top and least favorite books of the year so far. What do you think? Let me know. Have you read any of these books? Are they on your list? And yeah, I'd just be interested to hear your views. Was there a book you found absolutely captivating and you want to take the opportunity to recommend to everyone? That's one I'd love to hear about. Um, yeah, going back to the book giveaway, I just had this thought. What format do you prefer? Digital, audio, or physical? And if it's physical, the reason I had this thought is because I've got this book here ready to show you. It seems at the moment that between a couple of friends, family, and even myself, we're attacking my physical library with tea and coffee stains. So this is, there we go, that's the latest one to succumb to a tea stain. But this is years after having a pristine personal library, so it's like we've lost our ability to care for these works of art. And that is not the worst one. The worst one has already been disposed of because it was really sad. It's a paperback version of Six of Crows, which I loaned my friend, and she stuck her coffee mug on, splashed a lot over the rim, and then the bottom of the mug adhered to the book cover. The rest is history for that edition. Rest in peace or pieces, because yeah, it just got wrecked. Thankfully, I am super lucky because I have the hardcover I was gifted years ago with Crooked Kingdom, and they are still in perfect condition. And I think I'm never going to loan those ones out. We'll see. We'll see. Things happen. Now, for a giveaway, let me know your favorite format, genre, and reliable bookseller, and look out for the announcement later this month. I'll also do some research. This isn't just me being lazy telling you to tell me how to do it, but do. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care and remember to like and subscribe.